my name is Kayla. I'm a work study here at the Konalani Ashram. I've been here for just over a month now, and I have really enjoyed diving deep into this first module and learning this foundation of yoga. It has made it abundantly clear to me how passionate I am about every aspect of yoga, and learning it through the lens of Shambhavananda yoga lineage has been really special for me. I feel like I quite literally and in every sense of the term am finding my footing here in the ashram, in my practice, in Hawaii, and in myself in general. So I feel very inspired and excited to learn more. And today I'm going to teach you how to get into the 4 primary stances of the standing asanas. The first one we're going to do is Tadasana. Now the goal of this pose is to get our feet hip width and our feet and legs parallel to each other. So to get into this stance, let's kind of just walk around a little bit. Let's get comfortable with our mat. We can breathe, we can start to feel flowy and connect to our body and to this space. Start to paw at the mat a little bit here. I always imagine that I have gecko mode activated in my feet. And we're going to just start to walk around the space naturally and releasing any doership. We are going to just walk right into this stance. So I like to do a couple of circles here, just feeling into the vibes as naturally as possible, and then walk onto your mat and walk into the stance. You can now look down at your feet here. What we want to do is have our feet parallel with the edge of the mat, and you can do this by guiding your second toe to be aligned with that edge of the mat here. Don't do anything that your body doesn't want to do. The most important thing is to work with our body, not against it. So shifting our weight from foot to foot here, feeling into the space and into the stance. We want to feel stable and secure. To achieve that hip width, you can look for your aces, which is the bony structure. It's not the hip bones. It's going to be below and in front of the hip bones here, right above your socket. This is a really good landmark for you to find what hip width is for your body, because of course everyone is different. Once you find those bones there, you can see if your feet line up with that. Once you feel like your feet are parallel to the mat and to your legs and you're at hip width, we're going to spiral our thighs isometrically, so outward and open up a little bit here. This is not going to be a big movement. It's going to be very soft and subtle. You can do that by looking at your knees and just gently turning them towards your 4th toe, so the one next to your pinky toe here. And you'll feel that open. You'll feel your thighs open, and again, it should be gentle. There shouldn't be any compression in your back or your glutes, but you will feel like a gentle brightening and activation of your glutes. Once your thighs are open and you feel stable here, you can just relax and breathe comfortably into Tadasana. So from Tadasana, we can move into our next stance, which is Virabhadrasana 1, or the heel to heel stance. So from Tadasana, I like to just kind of bend the knees a little bit here. You can even go down into a chair pose. It's pretty helpful. And from here, you're going to want to move all of your weight into your right foot. And once the weight is all the way in the right, you're just going to gently step that left foot back. And this should be Virabhadrasana 1. You can take a look at that back foot and you might want to slightly turn it in. You just want about a 10 to 15 degree angle, and you want your heels to be somewhat aligned, as is called the heel to heel stance. It doesn't need to be perfect here, but gently start to shift your weight from both feet now, because we want equal weight distribution in our feet here. Just breathe. And again, do what feels comfortable in your body. You don't want to be working against it, and we want to really embody and feel that effortless effort. And that is Virabhadrasana 1. If you want to bring the weight back into that right foot and start to move forward, you can bring that left foot back up, back into Tadasana. And I will actually show you, I'm going to stay in Tadasana, but I'm going to turn this way. Typically, this is the way that we would be to do Vira 1. I was just showing you that way, but I want to show you another way to get into the stance. I showed you the step back. Sometimes I like to do the step forward. So moving the left foot again, you can kind of go back into that chair pose here. And instead of stepping that left foot back, you will just simply step it forward. And then you can lift up that back right heel and just slightly turn it in. I find that when I do either step forward or step back, that back foot automatically just kind of turns where I want it to be. But for you, just make sure that your toes are not pointed more than a 10 to 15 degree angle out towards the side of the mat there. And again, just distribute the weight back and forth. We want equal weight distribution. And you can also check your hips here too. You want to make sure that they're not facing too far towards the top or the side of the mat. Your pelvis is just neutral and right where it wants to be. And that's how you get into both sides of Virabhadrasana 1. Let's go ahead and shake it off a little bit here. We're going to do the next two stances by, again, getting into Tadasana. Yes, mountain pose. It's one that you will need for all of your practice, as you can see. So getting back into Tadasana here, checking that second toe, making sure it's aligned with the edge of the mat. Make sure that big toe is anchored. Spiral those thighs out a little bit. And it's a very seamless transition from Tadasana into straddle. So to move into straddle, we're just going to start moving back and forth, shifting our weight from foot to foot here. And with each rock, you can start to widen your stance. Do what feels comfortable. Listen to your body. I feel like slower is better, especially as we're first learning. We're not in a rush anywhere. The slower we go, the quieter we become, and I feel we can hear what our body is trying to tell us. So widen that stance here. And once you feel like you have widened your stance to the point where if you were to go any further, you would be compromising your balance, you have found your straddle for the day. Again, move back and forth, make sure you have an even weight distribution. And just like in Tadasana, we want to have our feet parallel to the mat. So again, using that second toe to align with that long edge of our mat, making sure we're parallel, and then we're going to want to anchor that big toe and turn our knees to the fourth toe to spiral open those thighs. Let's relax and breathe into our straddle, remembering effortless effort and perseverance without tension. We have one stance left that we can now easily transition into from our straddle, and that's going to be Virabhadrasana 2, which is the heel to arch stance. Let's do it on this right side here first. So to move into Vira 2, you're going to lift up your right heel and pivot on that ball mound to open up your right leg, and then you can place that heel back down. Let's pay attention to our back left foot here. We want to just slightly move that heel out, and we want our right heel to be aligned and pointing to our left arch. Let's check those hips. We don't want them pointing towards the top or the side of the mat. We want them right in the middle and having that neutral pelvis, listening to our body, letting it go where it wants to go. We can kind of check our stance here a bit by having a bend in the right knee, slowly tracking the right knee with that fourth toe. And if you feel like your knee moves past your ankle a little bit too easily, feel free to heel toe your stance a little bit wider so you are able to have that comfortable bend in the knee. And to move into the other side, we're just going to mirror it. So you can go ahead and bring that foot in. Do a couple weight shifting straddle moves here. Again, checking to make sure that our toes align with the mat and our thighs are spiraled outwards. And we're just going to go ahead and lift up that left heel and pivot this leg open on the ball mound of our left foot. Placing it down, checking that back right foot here, slightly turning it out so that this left heel is pointing to and aligned with our right arch. Checking the hips, making sure they are in that middle ground here, and then testing the stance by slowly tracking that knee with that fourth toe. You can even start to get some flowy movements in there. Bring your arms up if that feels comfortable for you. Making sure we have that even distribution of weight in both of our feet. That big toe anchoring us. And our body feeling good. And that is how you enter the 4 primary stances of the standing asana.